freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe is there. It's G.I. Joe against Cobra and Destro, fighting to save the day. He never gives up, he's always there, fighting for freedom over land and air. G.I. Joe! G.I. Joe is there!
Hey!
G.I. Joe is the code name for America's daring, highly trained special mission force. Its purpose, to defend human freedom against Cobra, a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world.
He never gives up, he'll stay till the fight's won. G.I. Joe
He'll stay till the poppies are won. Negro, because you're awesome Negroes. I'm going to have some fun today. I'm not going to like it. Joe! He'll fight for poppies, wherever it is, freedom. Oh, no. Hold on. I'm listening to one of my favorite songs. I was growing up as a kid. I love me some G.I. Joe, boy. I love me some G.I. Joe. But I think I want to change the words to the song. I think I want to change. Can we fight for freedom? No. Hold on, wait. Can we fight for poppies wherever there's freedom? Can we fight for zircon wherever there's people without nukes? I think we could do a whole lot of stuff, y'all. But I have to break the bad news to everybody who's confused. All of y'all that's confused and y'all think, and I know it's wrong. I say G.I. Negro. That's wrong. Because I know. But I'd like to welcome y'all. Because y'all know there used to be a new saying. It used to be an old saying. It used to go, we all some Nigers. I'm a Niger, you're a Niger. We all some Nigers. And so it has nothing to do with the word Negro or Niger, anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with whoever the 1% doesn't like. Whoever they want to use and abuse. And the great thing about today is we know who that is. We know who the Nigers are. We know who all the Negroes are. Negroes come in all colors, shapes, and sizes today. All colors, shapes, and sizes. And damn it, we will get you fighting for freedom wherever there's some zircon, some poppies, some coltan, some cobalt, some oil. And this one, this morning, y'all, I'm a little annoyed. So I'm talking about the troops this morning. I feel we need to support the troops, y'all. I feel we need to stop playing. We need to stop. Y'all see all those Negroes back there? Look, they're all shapes and colors and sizes. They had the medics and you got the guys and roadblock and everybody. Y'all some Negroes. So, I'm sorry. I'm off having a little fun. We fight for free. I was changing the lyrics this morning. We'll fight for freedom wherever there's poppies. American Negroes are there. Multiracial Negroes.
G.I. Joe is there. It's G.I. Joe against Cobra the enemy, fighting to save the...
Except it's not G.I. Joe against Cobra the enemy. There's no. It's the 99% against the other 99% enemies. 99% is here. Because that's all it is. We go off and a bunch of our kids kill a bunch of their kids, and the 1% make a whole lot of money pumping that out. What sent me down this road, y'all, I'm a little bothered this morning. Sent me down this road because the UN is sending troops to Afghanistan. And of course, America, we sending ours too. So let me, before I go off and I start talking my stuff, let me see who's here. I'm sorry. Good morning. Michelle is here, and Buddha and Renee. Mary, Amanda, good morning. Lori, hey, Kier, how you doing? Oh, we got a whole bunch of people this morning. Kathy, Brother Steven. Okay, we're going to fight for poppies, y'all. This is what we're going to do. Do y'all know? So what do y'all know? Because the people out, let me take my shoes off. I got to let the odor out. Get a little sweaty back here sometimes. I told you, don't get old. So... Oh, I love it and I hate it, which is why I love it and I hate it, because it's so damn obvious. It don't make no damn sense that we are still talking about support the troops and we are sending them to go get more. And this is why I was saying, I did my best, and I still do my best. I really hope my Trump friends are onto something that I just don't see. But what I see in my Trump friends, I saw in my Obama friends. I saw in my Clinton friends. I didn't see in my Bush friends. I wasn't that enlightened back then. I wasn't calling everything BS. But now, y'all, listen. We are sending the soldiers to go murder a bunch of people. So some 1% in Afghanistan, because they got 1% of Afghanistan, because that's how all that works. 1% they take a 2% over there, and they raise them up to 1%. And of course, you have the 0.001% that runs every damn thing, keeping everybody fighting. Y'all ever watch G.I. Joe? You ever notice how they start fighting, all the lasers get to going, nobody gets hit, lasers everywhere? That's actually what's always going on. But people getting hit. Ain't no not getting hit. But the point is, it's an insignificant battle. It's always an insignificant battle. Because G.I. Joe always wins, damn it. You know why G.I. Joe always, G.I. Negro, you know why he always wins? Why does G.I. multiracial Negro always win? Because it's role playing and there are scripts. You make sure that one side has all the good weapons and all the smart leaders, and they got all the Joes. They got all the Joes back there. And the other side don't really have a whole lot of much, and nobody really likes them too much. So one side always wins. But you ever notice we never invade anybody that has nuclear weapons? You ever notice that? This is why GI multiracial Negro always wins. Oh my gosh. All right, so I guess I got to get over and talk about the news. I'm off running my mouth, having a little fun. So, but I got to change my background. I'm done. I promise I'm not going to sing.
He's always there, fighting for freedom over
Afghanistan and Iraq and Syria and North Korea and everywhere we fight free. We always take some free people, we make them slaves, and we say it's fighting for freedom. They hate us for our freedom. So anyway, and the particular reason why I'm a little pissed off this morning, not just because we're sending troops, but because if you actually pay attention to the heroin problem I got to change my background. Before I talk about the heroin problem we got in suburb America, because it's done, y'all. It's done decimated the trailer parks. It's done decimated the ghettos. Heroin has made it to suburbia. That's the rest of y'all. So that's not, I guess, it's not really you're a part of the 99%, but you might be like the 4%, maybe even the 15%. Now it's starting to affect y'all's kids. Now y'all starting to wake up. Y'all starting to realize, and it's not even a funny topic, y'all. This is serious business. This is not funny. It's not politics. The ridiculous side of it that makes you laugh is why are we still supporting this nonsense? So I got to change my background because we need to talk about why. Why are we sending troops to go fight for heroin and poppies in Afghanistan? And this is why. This is why. Some of y'all don't know what that is. And I know one of my friends will recognize we in the fields of green, y'all. Some of y'all don't have an eye for certain things. So why are we in Afghanistan? Why are we sending more troops over there to fight? Why are we doing this? Well, because people don't like pain. People don't like pain. People aren't too up on pain. There's a lot of people in this country that can't afford health care. And you know what they do for pain because they can't afford the pain pills? They drink brandy. A lot of old folks. Like you go and you think they're drunks and you think something's wrong with them, they're winos or whatever. That's medicine, y'all. They're actually taking a lot of alcohol to fight off the pain. The problem is the alcohol wears off and the pain comes right back, which is the danger in alcohol. You can't really be a functional citizen on alcohol. Alcohol makes you vomit, makes you crazy, stupid, dumb, make you take your pants down, do dumb stuff that you're just not supposed to do. Dangerous stuff. But it also is just a not functional painkiller. That's not its purpose, But there are other medications that serve that purpose. And if you know what those medications are, you'll understand why they are still illegal. And in the states that they've legalized those other pain-giving medications that make you, I mean, you can go to work with some, you know, some of that stuff, which, by the way, not going to tell you. See, people, they look and they're like, oh, he's a smoker. He likes that. He likes the drugs. He likes drugs. I don't do it, and I won't do it. I am a hippie, y'all. I am a hippie, but I am a holistic, natural, modern hippie, and I don't want smoke anywhere in my body or around me unless there's something that's got to be medicated and my naturopathic doctor or my herbalist says that I need to have that smoke in my lungs. Other than that, I don't put no smoke in there. When y'all walk past me, you're smoking the cigars, or you're smoking the marijuana. I don't breathe. I just walk by. So I don't want to confuse anyone to think that I'm any sort of whatever y'all want to call them now, potheads or whatever. I don't smoke none of it. And I won't touch none of it. Why? Because I don't think smoke is supposed to be in your lungs. I don't think burning ashes should be down there. And if you know me, I'm a chemophobe. I don't mess around with your medications, your chemicals, your drugs, none of that stuff. I eat raw, fresh fruits and vegetables in between eating some nasty cancer-causing ice cream. That's delicious. So I just want to clear, let's kind of clear, because sometimes when you hear people talk about this, you think, oh, well, they just want to go smoke and be hippies or whatever. Now, if y'all don't know what's behind me, that's a field of green. That's a field of, I'm going to call it not by its slave name, I'm going to call it by its real name. It's cannabis. All right, marijuana was a name, that was the racist name that they gave it because they wanted y'all to hate Mexicans and everybody that smoked it, so they gave it a real horrible name. But it's just cannabis, that's all it is. And so, you can smoke that stuff and go to work. You know, I'm not going to tell you how, yeah, I'll tell you how I know. Because people used to smoke it and go to work. But, you know, it'll make you hungry. They won't get a lot of work done because they'll be in the vendeteria eating all up the snacks and all the stuff. Your vending machines, y'all might have to keep them, you know, populated. But at least the folks aren't drunk in work. So, all right. Let's look at the news a little bit. So I can go off it. Let's look at the news a little bit. But I wanted to be in front of this field of green. What's happening in Afghanistan? Afghanistan, because we sending troops, y'all. We got to fight for freedom. They hate us for our freedoms over there. And so we got to send some people over there, some boys and girls, to go get our freedom back, because they taking our freedoms, y'all.
Trump's recent promise to boost a military presence in Afghanistan by sending 3,000 troops to the country. Daniel Hawkins has details.
It's Groundhog Day for Afghanistan. An official announcement confirms another troop surge in the war-torn country. And while previous increases have involved American troops, this time it's a combined NATO job.
We have decided to increase the number of troops. We will not go back in combat operations. The current level is around 13,000. The new level will be around 16,000. They will train, assist and advise.
Advise, reassure, assist, boosting security. NATO's usual rationale for sending troops across the globe. A variation on its European deployments designed to reinforce defenses in the face of Russian aggression.
Europe is close to a more assertive Russia.
We are implementing the biggest reinforcement of our collective defense.
We have responded in a proportionate, measured way by increasing our military presence in the eastern part of the alliance.
I'm going to stop there. Okay, because all of this feeds together, right? All of this feeds together. It's just, it's like a multi-quad, octa, circle, jerk, screw thing of all these different industries, of all this 1% people that all just making money off of everything. So do you hear what he said? Russia! So not only is the UN over there, obviously, to ensure poppy production goes up, and because y'all know poppy production going up, right? Like, you know how this works. You know that since we've been over there, poppy production is up over 300%, and heroin is like invading suburban the United States of America and across the world, but they also throw Russia in there. Why? Well, because it all kind of makes sense, and it all kind of fits in when you think about it from a profit perspective. You know, because now the military industrial complex is making money, pharmaceutical companies making lots of money, they're selling medications, and they're able to sell the opioid crisis, what's going on, getting people hooked and addicted, making a lot of money doing that. But they're also taking care of the troops and all the medical needs that comes from that. And then on top of that, you got increased opioid production. But I want to take a look at this map. Let's look at the map a little bit. So what we're looking at is a security and opium cultivation map in Afghanistan. I thought this was kind of interesting. Yeah, I notice any correlation between where there are the most extreme conservative, I can't even say words. This happens to me every damn morning. You notice where we got security problems? We have security problems everywhere they're growing the most poppies. Why in God's name, or Buddha's name, or Allah's name, or some microbiology name, whatever y'all believe in, why in their name do you think we always deploy the most troops? And it just happens to be where the most poppies are growing, where the most heroin's coming from. And of course, these are just the numbers that are published. Of course, there's a whole lot more farming going on. But I don't want to... All right. I'm sorry, I didn't see what y'all saying. Yes, Mary, it's the heroin pipeline. That's what's going on. So that's why the street value is down. Yep, street value is coming. But they're not going to let it come down too far, Buddha. They're going to make sure that value stays at a certain level. But they're pushing it everywhere. I had a graph that showed the production. Because sometimes you look at this stuff and people, they start debating, well, you're lying, you're making stuff up. Opium production isn't up, and I'm not actually. You know what? I thought I had that map ready and available. I don't see my map. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I got it. Not a map, my graph. Opium production since we've been there, because we are going to get Bin Laden, and that's why we're going to get the Taliban. And then, so what was the first lie we talked about yesterday? So the first lie is we were going to get Bin Laden, and so we started negotiating with the Taliban, and the Taliban said, "Damn it, you can have them." We said, well, no, we want you too. So now we're going to get the Taliban and Bin Laden. And so we went in, and now we got the Taliban on the run. We got Bin Laden. They done put him in I know y'all think they killed him. I think they put him in a resort. I think he's in Bermuda somewhere in a cave chilling. But anyway, they got rid of him. He out of there. And now we still over there. And we still can't seem to figure out that they're lying. They are lying. There are industries who are just simply saying, we're making a lot of money on the heroin. It's killing kids all over the ghettos and the trailer parks. It's killing kids in suburban America. We're making a lot of money on that. It's destabilizing America so we can ramp up police because people don't feel safe, and we can fight the war on drugs even harder, send more drugs around the world, sending 99% military around the world to fight for the drugs, to grow the drugs, to bring them back in the United States and everywhere else, to bolster up military, bolster up the police, to go fight the drugs in the community. Are you noticing any sort of scheme, business plan, any damn thing? But on top of that, then the military-industrial complex, they're salivating and just wet dreams everywhere because now they're sending all types of tanks and bombs and airplanes and bullets and guns to go put them in the troops' hands and fight for the troops, go fight to grow the drugs, and then you send them to the other side quietly, the Clintons, everybody, sending the money behind the scenes to ISIS and ISIL to fight back. And sometimes I flip out a little bit, and I just wonder, is anybody like really? And then people tell me, oh, we got to reform, we got to rally with our base. We got to rally with the base. We got to clean it up. We got a few politicians that are fighting for us. And I'm sitting here looking at troops coming back with half a leg, half an arm, homeless. Nobody give a damn on the side of the street. And you just yell, and you gotta support the troop bumper sticker on the back of your car. Man, y'all gonna make me a drunk. I'm holding my coffee like I'm a drunk this morning. I feel like I'm a drunk. What in the heck is wrong with people? Yes, it is a cycle of insanity, Georgia. People have they've lost their ever-loving minds. Gonna tell me we're gonna get together and we're gonna rally with the base. What? G.I. Joe ain't at the base, dummy. G.I. Negro over there fighting. Oh Lord, it's not, y'all, it's not funny. It's not funny at all. None of it is, it's just, no, Renee, they didn't throw him overboard. They did not throw that brother overboard. Bin Laden, he is chilling. He was probably in the 2%, the 1%. I don't know how much money he had. He was in the club with all of them. If you ask me, he's sitting down somewhere on the beach, got his 27 American virgins all around him. But then again, it's probably sex slavery from Syria or somewhere. He got all that stuff. They didn't do nothing to that brother. That brother is having fun. I think it's all a lie. I don't buy none of it. And the thing that pisses me off about it, though, is people actually believe this. People actually believe any of this. And so then the other big benefit is UN in doing this nonsense. And of course, anytime the UN sends troops, we got to send more of our people. We got to send more of our 99%. And we send them over there. And now they're encircling Russia. So they're getting their credit. Why? Because NATO has no value. NATO is nobody. NATO has no purpose in the world anywhere to do any damn thing because Russia's a buddy of everybody. All the 1% runs all of the 0.01%. They run all of it, and they're all their lackeys. And so they're trying to build up this narrative again to keep us clapping and supporting, to keep the dummies on that side, on that side. Did I say that? I didn't say that. To keep our loving brothers and sisters on one side, and our loving brothers and sisters who know better on the other side. And we're going to talk about how we're going to reform the people who sent our people all over there to kill our people over there so they could sell more drugs here, pump more drugs out, and sell more military weapons. Like at some point, man, you just... It boggles my mind, man. It throws me astray how the mind of an intellectual would actually talk about this. And this is why I can't watch the mainstream media. And the number one reason I don't watch the news is because I can't choke anybody, y'all. I love to choke people. I need to choke somebody every now and then. I'm not always the hippie trying to hug people and just give them love. Every now and then you got to choke somebody. Somebody say something stupid. You know, nah, I never choke nobody. People would always, they listen to you and they start all this extremist stuff. I ain't never choked nobody, man. But it's okay. So, but let's keep going. Let's keep going because I want to always be fair. There are people who feel that it's logical for our soldiers, our GI Negroes, y'all didn't join earlier, our GI multiracial Negroes, to go over there and fight. So I think, who was it? Was it what's the dude's name? This dude, y'all remember this dude? Gerardo Rivera. Y'all remember Gerardo, don't you? Gerardo. He was, I think I said it right. Gerardo. He was the guy who used to get all the people in the 80s on television fighting and throwing chairs and at each other, get people angry on stage. So of course he's not a hack, but let's see what he has to say. Because you got to listen to the other side, and I think that's important.
That if we were to destroy it now, the population would turn against the Marines and it would be a real security risk. Let me introduce Lieutenant Colonel Brian Christmas. He's the commanding officer of the 3rd Battalion, 6th Marines. Really a wonderful group of Marines here. I know that you care deeply about this contradiction, the fact that here you have one of the best fighting forces in the world ever mounted, and in a sense, you're watching as this opium.
Hang on, I'm sorry, that's bull. You don't know him. He act like he knows him like they're friends or something. No, you don't know him. You don't know that he cares or gives a damn. He could just be trying to pay for his education. So that's some BS right there. I'm sorry, and this is why I get upset. I want to choke him right now because I hate dumb stuff. The right way to approach this young man and say, you know what? I know that you're over here fighting. I don't know why you're here. I don't know what you want to do. I don't give a damn about you. I got sandwiches on the airplane, and I could have brought you some food. I ain't bring you nothing, but you eat your MREs. But I'm going to put this camera in your face, and I want you to tell me what your commanding officer told you to tell me, so to tell the people, and this because this was all 7 years ago, to believe that it ain't about the whole drugs behind me, and we over here fighting for freedom. That's what he should have said, and that's why I wanted to choke him, but that's why I do this here, because I can do some verbal choking. I'm sorry. I messed it up. I'm going to stop. I'm going to drink my coffee. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna stop. He irritated me right there. Y'all give me a little bit of room. He irritated. I hate it when people talk to us like we're idiots. So anyway, let me shut up.
Is being grown. I know it grinds at your gut. How do you deal with it? What are you doing about it?
Well, frankly, this is part of their culture. So while it might grind in my gut, it's what they do. We provide them security, we're providing them resources, and we're providing them alternatives. And the alternatives are different crops to grow. They're getting the seed and the fertilizer to do it. They can rotate any of their crops that they want. If they want to get rid of their wheat and grow cotton for the winter, they can do that, and we're going to help them do it. So the same thing goes for the poppy.
So you think that, we were at the market, and everywhere we go, they're selling these little devices. Take a shot at this, Greg. They're hand-carved. These are the little devices they use to scrape the opium sap off the plant. And I watched as you bought every one that was for sale because you care so deeply. Why'd you do that?
Well, I'm off the street. The idea is that we don't want to harvest the poppy. We want to, hopefully turn the poppy over and put some wheat, cotton, watermelon, cucumber. It's all great stuff they grow out here.
Hold on, I gotta stop. I was gonna let it play. I can't let it play, y'all. I can't let it play. He just said, he said watermelon. Oh, because they might want to grow some watermelon. They might want to grow some grain. Might want to put it in. First of all, watermelon racist. I don't know if y'all know that, but that's not beside the point. I can't believe that we gonna grow some rice. Oh, they're gonna put some okra. Look, this is how this goes. This is nuts. I can't believe that anybody swallowed this stuff. This is an old interview. This was back when they were trying to explain it because our soldiers were coming home saying that we're growing opium and the opium business is about to blow up. And this is their little hack that they put in there. And they tell them, go interview Sergeant Johnson. And of course they line Sergeant Johnson. Johnson, see, he's up for either a promotion or he's up to re-enlist. And that bonus can be what it is. But either way, it doesn't really have to be, right? Because when you're in the military, and this is why I say you can't blame the military. You follow orders. That's your job. You follow orders. You don't oppose things. And this is why I'm not on the boat when people start want to blame the troops and say, oh, they need to stand down. I don't agree with that. I completely, if you could get every single soldier to stand down, that's something else. But that's never going to happen, right? So a soldier has a job to do. Voters have a job to do. Let's not say voters. That's too far. I don't know if I even believe in voting. Citizens have a job to do. The soldier's job to do. Here's the thing. If you sign up, you're getting your education, whatever, you sign up, you getting going to school, you're going to go serve your 5 years, whatever. You signed up, you're at your base, and somebody comes and say, you are going to Afghanistan. You got two choices that I'm aware of. You can go to Afghanistan or you can go to prison. Where do you think you're going to go? You're going to go to Afghanistan. You can be against the war. You could have a logical head on your shoulders, and it won't matter. They're going to put you on an airplane. The next thing you get off is going to be in a battleground. They're going to put you in a helicopter. It's going to be on a battleground. There will be people shooting at you. It will be 99% them shooting at you and 99% shooting at your 99%. If you don't shoot back, you get shot. This is how this works. You take these kids, you put them in war zones, you give them equipment to protect themselves, you give them a mission, and they're going to do their mission. So first of all, when you get Sergeant Johnson over there, Sergeant Johnson, I'm calling Sergeant Johnson. When you get him over there and you tell him what he has to do, what he has to say in front of the camera, he's going to say it. That's his job. Your job in the military is not to question orders. It's your job to do what you're told. And so they do what they're told. So, but this idea that they grow, somebody said cucumbers. Y'all are crazy. The idea, I know I'm crazy too. The idea that we are over there growing some damn cucumbers and we seeing poppy productions going up everywhere. First of all, if you know a farmer, the first thing farmers do, they look at the season, they look at the land, they determine what is the maximum profit crop I can grow without destroying my land. And right now, because the war on drugs is just pushing the drugs everywhere all over the planet. CIA been doing this a long time to make a whole lot of money. They're going to grow opium. And that's what they're doing. That's what the graphs and the maps and everything show. They're growing tons and tons and tons more opium. 90% of the world's opium now comes from Afghanistan. Let me know when this sinks in. And this is what the soldiers tried to tell us, and we didn't listen. Let me go back down. I'm sorry. I'm off. I get excited, and I'm just and I start running my mouth, and I don't look at Sister Laura said, "How strong is the coffee?" Well, I mixed my coffee this morning. I ran out of my favorite brand, and I mixed in a little something else. And no, wasn't no opium in the damn coffee. Wasn't no heroin in it either. And I mixed it in, and so maybe I might be a little extra boisterous this morning, singing "GI Negro." I know. I'm sorry if I offended anybody. That's not my goal. GI multiracial Negro. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm not. I don't care if I offended you, because that's what it is. We treat the troops like they are Nigers, like they're from the country of Niger, and we send them over there, and we don't care if they get hurt. We don't care if they have to shoot people. We don't care about their psychological makeup, and they come home and we treat them like crap. And then we cheer when politicians talk about they give a damn. All the politicians. All right. Yes, it's the interviewer's just telling a story, and I got to get Geraldo off of there. I can't stand her damn Geraldo. I'm not even gonna let it finish because it's obvious that he's just gonna say what has to be said. But we'll see what y'all are talking about, because I don't want it to be my perspective. This is my perspective. Maybe they growing watermelon. Maybe I'm a hack too, and I'm making stuff up. That's why I got intelligent friends, because my friends would check me if I say something stupid. Maybe they're not growing cute. No, it looks like the general consensus at the moment is they are growing poppies. Y'all think too much. Y'all gotta stop thinking so damn much. Never seen. Sister Mary said, "I've never seen a watermelon from Afghanistan." And isn't Afghanistan a jungle? No, it's a desert. Watermelons don't grow in Afghanistan. And this is the problem, is that the CO that told him to say what he said, you didn't even check to find out where watermelons grow. It's got water in the name, y'all. It needs a lot of water. Desert ain't got no water. Oh my gosh. That's a nasty story too. I used to live in this house. The little sewer pipe thing broke in the back, and just stuff that's supposed to be coming out. The septic tank was flowing down in the backyard. Nobody could see it because it was kind of back there a little bit, and some watermelon started growing out of it. You know, I guess the seed done came out somewhere and it rooted. Take a lot of water. That's all I'm saying. And that really wasn't water. That was water with extra sugar. But it take a lot of water to grow watermelons. I agree. They're not growing. Buddha, I can't do no opium smoothie. I'm scared of that. When you look at what's happening with heroin and these kids, no, I wouldn't go anywhere near that. If my herbalist told me I needed some opium for something, I would know. That stuff is highly addictive, and that's where the whole opium crisis is coming for. I'm not going to mess around with the opium smoothie. That's too deep for me. Yeah, Georgia, a lot of people believe this stuff. I don't. You say who believe? I want to know who are all these people who believe this stuff. I don't know. Sometimes I think maybe people convince themselves it's true. Maybe they're scared of admitting it's not true or something. I don't know. Maybe they're just so scared of the others on the other side or something. But people, they cheer this stuff and they vote for it, the politicians who talk this stuff. When the politicians talk it, they don't say, that's a lie. Like right now, my Trump friend should be saying to the president, you lying. We shouldn't be sending 6,000 more troops over there. This is a lie. We didn't elect you for this. We elected you for business. And what y'all elect them for? Business, and not Hillary, and peace, and friends with Russia, and all that stuff. Y'all should be saying that. Now I get your response, and you don't have to say it because I'm going to say it for you. But when Obama was in, they didn't do that neither. He started doing this dumbness, and they're clapping and cheering too. So, but at some point in time, can we grow up? At some point in time, can we stop trying to screw the other side? At some point in time, can we do a solid for the troops? It ain't about Obama. It's not about the left and the other side. It's not even about you on the right and nothing. It's not even about Trump. It's about the troops. Can we do a solid for the troops and united join in on that common ground and say it's all BS? That's what we need to do. People used to be able to come together for the right things. And this is one thing we need to come together on, because all they're doing is sending more soldiers over there in harm's way to grow this nonsense. And of course because another thing, look at the provinces where it's growing. Opium is growing everywhere. It's coming out of everywhere. You ever wonder how they know how much opium is coming out of all the provinces, even the ones we don't control? How do they know it's coming out of all of the provinces? Perhaps because they let the other side grow some too. Because if the other side grows some, they can afford more weapons, which means we don't have to give the other side as many weapons, which means that everybody can keep fighting. Because if troops come back and they say the stuff that they've been saying, ain't nobody over there. I was over there and they didn't want to fight or nothing, so did stuff, tried to start a fight and whatever, and then we started fighting. If troops came back and started saying that nobody over there wants to fight, we'd have an issue. So, of course, you got to let them grow some. They can make a little money. They can buy a little extra of their weapons. So the U.S. tax dollar doesn't pay for all the damn weapons. I mean, we might pay for 100% of one side's weapons and 70% of the other side's weapons. But that's a good savings, right? Because it's 30% that we're not paying for from the tax dollar. Make a little money. You could take that money and you could buy some more, weapons for the police back at home. The other 99%, because the police 99% too. I made a good friend yesterday, a police officer. I have to talk about it. I was throwing some of my retired police officer. I just throwing some of my ideas, and she was kind of agreeing with some of the stuff we think about, that this is all a scam. But what about being a citizen? I'm sorry, Imrana, I'm not sure where you're going with that one. What about being a citizen? I'm trying to look at the commentary because I get to going and I don't see everything. If you could clarify. Enlisting for slavery. Yes, Lori, that's all it is. We treat the troops like trash. They are nothing more than, and picking cotton, we pick cotton over here. They pick poppies. They're over there they're poppy pickers. That's all they are. They are, when I was going to change the G.I. Joe song, it was going to be, they fight for Wall Street. Wherever there's profit, G.I. multiracial Negroes are there. I know that's a whole lot to fit in there, but you got to say it that way. Otherwise, people don't know what you're talking about. And it's just some slavery. That's all it is. It's all it always is. Met 2 young veterans who were guarding heroin pipelines at the DNC convention last year. Yep. I had a couple friends that I talked to who said the same damn thing. And the excuse is that, oh, well, it's just a part of their culture. It's just what they do. Let's handle that one. To me, that's still not an excuse, right? Because if you say as a nation, we are against drugs, we literally have a war on drugs. The concept, the idea that you would have the audacity and the ignorance to say that we will use our troops to grow drugs, but we are fighting a war on drugs. A war on drugs that's killing millions all over the world. Kids, babies, mamas, everybody, soldiers, police officers, and it's so contradictory that it's almost traitorous. It's almost traitorous to say that our initiative is to fight drugs and we're growing drugs. Somebody should be impeached minimally. At best, somebody needs to be hung. Like, that's really where this is at. It's at the levels. And like I said, I laugh and I joke a lot, but the reality is we got people who lost people to this nonsense. I went, oh my gosh. You think about the normalization of this drug war and how normal it's become to have a violent society. I actually met somebody long time ago, for the first time. And it was such a comfortable thing. All right. So I don't know how to say it. I just have to say it. All right. So I met somebody, and it was a first date. It was a first date. And the first date was, well, I'm doing this, blah, 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 blah. You can come with me. It was to a funeral. It was to a freaking funeral. And we're supposed to go have dinner after that. A funeral. It was a funeral of a child that was shot in this whole war on drugs. It was a little casket. And it's just the idea that we've normalized such violence that people would be that comfortable that, oh, it's a normal thing. It's a regular thing. People get shot all the time. We'll just go swing by the funeral. I'll say my respects or whatever. And then, we can go out and eat a meal. It just blew my mind. I'm not from a community where that happens. I went to a high school where a lot of people grew up where that happened, but it still wasn't normalized to me. And back then, that was before gangster rap and the CIA brought all the drugs in and got the crack cocaine supply chains and everything going real well. So it really wasn't that crazy, but this was later on in life, and it was insanely crazy. Right. And then Buddha, and this is another one. Yeah, Buddha, they get it. You know, soldiers go over there, they get hurt, they get them addicted to the opioids for the pain. They come home and they end up on heroin. So they end up even fighting for the same drug supply, the things they're fighting against. And again, I'm not against drugs, though. I don't want to make it sound I got some of my hippie friends. I'm not against drugs. I'm not against drugs. I'm against contradictions, lies, and BS. I'm against using all of this as a major play against the world's population to make a lot of money and hurt a lot of people. That's what I'm against. And so there are no good solutions that they're cranking out over there. Hey, Kathy, yep, go ahead and send me the video. I'm gonna read through your comment. Play something while I read through the comments. So y'all think it's just me and I'm talking stuff. Watch this.
Cell phone, whether it's 90% plus of the world's opium supply, 90 fucking percent. That is a multi-billion-dollar business. And if you think these fucking industrialist cocksuckers that are running the world are gonna leave that money behind, you're fucking crazy. Dude, they've got United States Army troops guarding Poppy Field. There's fucking so much heroin there. I mean, it's incredible. The fucking brother of the president of Afghanistan, his brother was selling heroin and getting paid by the CIA. I mean, god damn it. Heroin is absolutely addictive, okay? People who try heroin get hooked. Heroin is everywhere, okay? So you need to sell it. Someone's selling it. Who's selling it? I don't know, but 90% of it comes from this one place where we have to be to save our freedom. You can't criticize it, because if you criticize it, you're a shithead. You don't appreciate it.
Excuse the language. That's my boy Joe Rogan. That brother's deep. I love that brother. So, but sometimes that passion comes out. I know some people got to cuss. Sometimes that passion is there. But Sister Peggy says something. She said, "Hell no, we won't go about the draft." And you're right. You know, you're right. And I agree with you. As long as we're doing good, as long as we got food in our bellies, we got water coming out the faucet, and we got a job, we're living kind of good, we won't go. You ain't gonna draft us. But when times get hard, as I was talking about yesterday, you know, the kings always starve out the population. When times get hard, we will do some things that we aren't supposed to do, right? Like when times get hard enough, you can take the most loving pastor from the most friendliest church, and you take him to a point where he can't feed his kids or her kids. You know what's going to happen next? That pastor will be capable of doing some things that you wouldn't think they were capable of. So, and this is why I always go back to growing some food. This is why you got to grow some food, right? People who are strong, they can say no. They don't really need to support this. But people who are weak, and they tend to be the successful people, that's what I'm talking about. The people who are weak, who can't take care of themselves, and they need this dollar-based society and economy. They need the job. They're doing pretty well. They're screwing a lot of people on slavery or with slavery. They're the ones who are going to support this because they can't support themselves. They don't know what to do and how to take care of themselves. And so, you know, hard times, you know, that's who's in the military, right? Is poor kids in America, from the rural to the urban areas. That's who's in the military. So anyway, I'm gonna go down. Yeah, love Joe Rogan. The brother's deep. Mental health care, I am for, right? And you know, and it's about taking care of people. With the whole drug war thing, I don't care anything about that. If somebody's sick and they want to grow some medicine, then let them, leave them alone. You know, I don't get why you want to stop some old person who's got back pain from growing some cannabis and using it. Like, it's a retarded argument. It really is. And I'm gonna start taking the gloves off a little bit. I'm gonna start because you know how horrible of a person you are to have a stance on keeping people in pain. Have you ever been in pain? Have you ever had any real pain in your life? I once had back when I used to eat the sugars and I used to eat all that nasty processed food and stuff, I had a kidney stone. I wanted to die. I had to pass one of those things. They done did the CAT scan. You couldn't sleep. You couldn't do anything. Why in the hell would you make an argument because you think you know what you're talking about that people in pain can't grow their own pain drugs? Like, you just, and I don't want to wish no pain on you, but damn it, maybe you need to have a baby or 2 or 3 or something. Maybe you need to have some chronic illness or pain that's not going to go away before you develop the empathy and understanding to just leave people alone and let them do. Sorry, I'm not going to go too far down that road. Right, and then the prison industrial complex, Wanda. Yes, it always comes into play. There are so many industries that all of these things circle around and feed into, and this is why Wall Street, and I like to say Wall Street because they're all together on this. They're all brothers and sisters in love, loving this, which is why we got to back away from them. We got to, and Christmas time is coming up. So think about that when it comes to the Christmas. For me, at my house, very few gifts come from me that are from China and all over the world. Think about having a Christmas with your family where you buy only local made gifts from small businesses. Think about that. Think about maybe just buying some books or just some simple stuff, but start walking your family into not supporting all of these businesses on Wall Street that are sending our, you want to support the troops, and that's it. Somebody should start that hashtag, somebody that's popular, hashtag support the troops, buy local or something, because our troops, they're just slaves for Wall Street. That's all they are. You don't support the troops by having a big ignorant Christmas. You support the troops by having a Christmas, but supporting the businesses that aren't sending them to war, that aren't using them as a security force to grow poppies. Man, I'm trying to keep up with the comments. Whole lot of stuff. Right, because they want you on their pharmaceutical drugs, Sister Georgia. That's what's going on. The vets use it for PTSD, So, all right, let me finish playing. I'm going to read some of the comments, but we're going to do this and we'll wrap up a little bit.
It's a shame that nobody talks about Afghanistan anymore, considering how the war is far from over and remains the longest military quagmire in U.S. history. At this point, we should be asking ourselves a very important question. Bin Laden's dead and Afghanistan's apparently ready to police themselves, so why are we still there? See, aside from U.S. troops still occupying the country, there are over 100,000 private contractors in Afghanistan. And guess what? The Pentagon can't even tell us what the hell they're doing there. But this right here might give you a clue.
It is the most unintended and awkward consequence of our military offensive here in Afghanistan. The rout by our Marines of the Taliban from their former stronghold here in Helmand Province has put us in the weird position of being protectors of the largest crop of opium in the world.
Thanks, Geraldo. And guess what, guys? The Taliban had banned and almost completely eradicated opium in Afghanistan shortly.
Oh, did y'all forget about that? Did y'all forget about that? Did y'all forget about the Taliban was trying to shut down a lot of the opium trade? And this is why we could not take the Taliban up on their offer to take bin Laden. Because why? They are fighting a war on drugs that was working. You can't, it's funny. You can't make this stuff up. It's this retarded. It is this. And that's a bad word. It's just this dumb and ignorant. If you really think about the major influences in our government, from the big pharmaceutical companies, the big chemical companies, the big electronic companies that need all the minerals over there, the military industrial complex, you add all of this up, it should be very, very obvious what's going on. We are all being played. We are all being played, and people who aren't doing so well, like most of us, are paying the highest price. They're paying the highest price because we think more about ourselves, we think more about our own lives and our own egos than people who can't afford. They didn't win the birth lottery to escape that system. And those people come from ghettos and trailer parks. And the people who pay the highest price probably isn't even them. The highest price is probably paid for the people who live in those lands that have all those minerals, that oil, that opium, and they're just murdered and thrown in ditches. Right? They don't even have a story to tell. So, my closing thoughts this morning, Michael, I'm not even sure if I got a closing thought because this is so damn ridiculous. I don't even know what to do. Anytime somebody comes up to you and they start talking about how we're fighting for freedom, you need to correct them. Anytime you run into somebody and they start talking about support the troops, ask, how are you supporting the troops? Anytime you see a homeless vet, don't just step over them. Even if they're lying, I don't care. You know, people, they say, oh, well, a lot of the homeless people, they're scammers and they really didn't serve in the military. How do you know? And if you caught one of them, that's one. Do you think the majority of homeless people actually want to be homeless? What's so wrong about being scammed by a homeless person that you actually help them and maybe they weren't a troop? Do you only want to help the homeless people who are troops? Is that the only people you care about? Don't be selective when it comes to your heart. You know, melt some of that ice. Let that ice melt. Don't worry about the scams and all that stuff. You know, but let's be honest and let's be truthful. And if you want to know what's happening in the wars, ask the troops. If you want to know how to support the troops best, don't even ask me. Ask them. Ask them, what should we be doing? Ask if you want to support. It's crazy. It's like, I don't know, say there was a such thing as a purple person. And we say, support the purple persons. We got to support the purple persons. And the yellow persons are saying that. At some point in time, don't you think it would be a smart thing to walk up to a purple person and say, purple person, purple people, how the hell can we support you? How can we help you? And the troops will tell you. These brothers aren't quiet. They will tell you exactly how to help. They'll tell you exactly what we shouldn't be doing and what we should be doing, which is why a lot of them aren't allowed to have guns. When they come back here, they figure it out. They're like, oh, no, you can't have no gun. So, but anyway, listen, I appreciate y'all joining me in the marijuana cannabis field. And just keep your thinking caps on, people. Keep thinking. Stop going along with the BS. Question everything. Everything. Especially anything that's beyond reproach. Anything that's beyond reproach is where you should be spending the majority of your time questioning, calling something BS. Because it all is some BS. And it's not a game. It's not about G.I. Joe. It's not a cartoon. It's about taking people and putting them in harm's way because a company wants to make a lot of money. That's all what it's about. So anyway, that's my 2 cents for the morning. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me in the field. Y'all have a good day.